Right, here's our first problem in this series on quadratic problems. We have a squared perimeter in centimetres, one greater than its area in centimetres squared. Find the length of one of its sides. So let's call this side x, and we'll call this side x because it's a square in centimetres. We know the perimeter, okay, I'm going to call it P, is going to be equal to x plus x plus x plus x. So that's 4x. Because going all the way around the outside, we have x's everywhere. And we know the area is going to be x times x, which gives us x squared. Now, as the question said, the perimeter is 1 centimetre, one greater than its area. So therefore P plus 1 will equal A. And we know that the perimeter is equal to 4x. So I'm going to replace the perimeter with 4x. And I know that the area is equal to x squared, so I'm going to replace the area with x squared. And then we can go on to try and solve this equation. Now remember, with quadratics, you must always get a naught on one side of the equal. So if we take away this 4x and this plus 1, so just take that away, leave us naught. X squared, take away the 4x and take away the 1 on this side. So we have the quadratic x squared minus 4x minus 1 equals 0. And there's two ways we can go about trying to solve this. One is completing the square, which I'll do. So if we complete the square, what I do remember is halve this value to get the value in here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to square minus 2 and take it away. So it's going to give me minus 4. And then I'm going to go minus 1. This minus this value. And this, therefore, gives me what I need to turn this x minus 2 squared bit into x squared minus 4x minus 1. Because when I square this out, I'll get a plus 4. So I'll take that 4 off and take another 1 off. That gives me the minus 1 I need. So we can see x minus 2 squared minus 5 equals 0. Add 5 to both sides. I get x minus 2 squared equals 5. Now I'm going to square root this side, and I get square root of 5. Remember, we need plus or minus 5, because plus 5 root 5 squared will give me 5, or minus square root of 5 squared will give me 5. And therefore 2 plus or minus the square root of 5 will be equal to x. And we know, therefore, that x must equal 2 plus the square root of 5. It's got to be positive, because if you have minus the square root of 5, square root of 5 is bigger than 2, that's going to give me a negative number. Now the other way to solve this is I could use the quadratic formula. See if you can remember it. It's minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And what we do is we work out what a and b and c are going to equal. So a is how many lots of x we got, x squared we got, so that's 1. How many lots of the 4 x's we got is minus 4. And the c is the number on the end, which is minus 1. And then I get my good friend Desmos to work that out. So I've got 1 minus, so I've got a is 1. So I'm going to put it into this. So press the fraction button to get the fraction. And I want minus b, so it's going to be minus minus 4, which is going to give me 4. I'm going to do plus first. The square root of b squared, and b is equal to minus 4. So put that in brackets, minus 4 close brackets squared. Always put your negative numbers in brackets, otherwise the calculator, when you square it, doesn't square it properly. Get a minus 4 times, notice a dot is times in Desmos, 4 times AC, so it's times 1 times minus 1. Again, I'm going to put it in brackets just as a habit, although it doesn't make much of a difference here, but I'm still going to do it. And then I'm going to divide by 2 times A, and that gives me the answer of 4.23. So therefore x will equal 4.23, or now if you go back into our Desmos, and what I can do is I can go back in here and change that to a minus. I get minus 0.236. Minus 0.236. Now I just want to go back and check my 4.23 actually, because I'll show you in a second. I have a feeling I'm not accurate to the degree of accuracy I've quoted. So it's minus 4.236. I'd round up to get minus 4. I'd round up to get 4.24. So it's quite important when you quote your accuracy to get it right. So both of these are to 3 significant figures. And you can check that 2 plus root 5 gives you the 4.2. So therefore, as I said, the other one would become out negative. So let's just do that just for completeness. So let's get a new line. And we're going to get 2, what was it, plus the square root of 5. And you can see it's equal to exactly the same thing here. So that's the end of our first problem.